YouTube, what's good with it, man? It's your boy Neo Cannabis, and I'm back with another video. So today we're gonna touch on social equity and how you can use the social equity program in your city or state to your advantage in order to either fast track you into getting a cannabis business license or job opportunities if you're not quite ready to start your cannabis business and you just want to gain more knowledge and learn more about how a cannabis, whatever cannabis business you are interested in, how you want to learn about how it's ran and everything like that, and how you can utilize different social equity programs within your city and state in order to better your chances for yourself or for your team in order to get that cannabis business license. To start it off, to get a better, more clear understanding, I want to get the kind of basically like the textbook definition of what social equity in cannabis is. So this is from the City of Los Angeles Social Equity Program. What they state is the goal of the social equity program is to promote equitable ownership and employment opportunities in the cannabis industry in order to decrease disparities in life outcomes for marginalized communities and to address the disproportionate impacts of the war on drugs in those communities. So, really to just summarize all of that is these cities are launching these social equity programs in order to shorten the gap that the marginalized minority group of people, so like, Black, Hispanic, Asian, Indian, all the people who are not dominant figures in today's cannabis industry and the people that are usually getting approved for licenses, because, no offense to anybody, but majority of people that you see in the cannabis industry are white people or, white owned businesses or white owned groups. So these cities are creating social equity programs basically to give back to those who were disproportionately affected by, what the war on drugs did and how the war on drugs got people locked up for selling or distributing or even using marijuana in even very small amounts, and what the war on drugs did to those people's communities. So it's kind of like reparations in a way, and make it more equal for all types of groups to get into the cannabis industry, not just allow one dominant group, Caucasian owned companies, from just dominating the industry and just creating monopolies across all the states of America. So that's kind of like my definition on what social equity is, just to put it in layman's terms so you guys can better understand it. And knowing that, and me telling you that my most common question, through email is that, hey, how do I get into the cannabis industry, or what are my first steps? My suggestion is your first steps, you should look into if there's any social equity programs in your area or the cities and states that you're interested in getting your cannabis business license, and look and see what all the requirements and the qualifications needed are in order to become verified as a social equity applicant. And once you understand that, you can utilize that to your benefit in order to get your foot in faster and more efficiently than just a regular person on the street. Because a lot of these social equity programs are allowing people to kind of jump in front of the general applicant. So the general applicant would just be, if I was just a regular person, I'm like, hey, I just want to start a cannabis business, and I just fill out the paperwork and I submit it and I'm just waiting. But a social equity applicant, after they're verified and they meet all the qualifications on the social equity program is in whatever city or state that they're applying in most cases, they're kind of able to jump the line in front of, that general applicant. So basically, all you really have to do is just do a quick Google search of your city and state, and then social equity program. And A government website, if there is one, a government website will, be probably one of the first search recommendations. Once you click on that government website should tell you all of the qualifications that are needed in order to be considered and be verified as a social equity applicant. And you're going to need to contact whatever department is in charge of that and submit those documents to them to prove that you are a social equity applicant. And most of the time, from what I've seen, is that you'll need to either have a prior conviction, a marijuana conviction, in the state or city that you're applying for that social equity application in, or you would have to have a business partner who had one, or you live in a city where there is a disproportional amount of arrest compared to other cities in that area. So basically, it's showing that your city was unfairly mistreated in the war on drugs. That's kind of what I'm seeing. And then you have to meet a certain income threshold gap. So for Oakland, California, the social equity program applicant can't make anywhere over, I think what it is, like $60,000, and of course you got to show proof and tax documents and everything to show that you meet those requirements. So once you submit all those documents and everything that they need in order to meet those requirements, or whoever your business partner, if you get a business partner and you guys go 50-50 on the business, so you're providing all the strategy and they're providing the social equity piece, you guys can partner up. And once that business partner provides all of that information that is needed and those documents that is needed, then you'll be qualified as a social equity applicant, and you'll be able to reap those benefits of whatever they allow or give for their social equity applicants. And most of the time, like I said previously, you're usually able to kind of jump in front of general applicants. So if you and a general applicant both submit the application papers on the same day, most of the time the social equity applicant will be considered as first priority, because they want your city or state wants more social equity businesses in the area to show that there's not a disproportional amount of general businesses and social equity businesses. They don't want to have like 1,000, just regular general businesses and then 2 social equity minority owned businesses. That's just not, creating like, a fair environment. It's just showing unequal opportunities that usually minorities have, just in business and really in life. Those are really my suggestions going forward. That's just a quick tip just for you guys, because that is usually my most asked question. Like, what do I do? How do I get started? The first thing I would suggest is look to see if your city or state has a social equity program, and then figure out what the requirements and what you need in order to qualify, and try your best to qualify, because that's going to give you the best chances in order for you to get your cannabis business, or start your delivery service and get your license and get it up and running as fast as possible. And usually a lot of fees and stuff are negated, or are cut down if you are a social equity applicant. So you won't have to pay as many fees as a general applicant, because they just want to make it easier for you to get your foot into the door. And then sometimes you'll be able to get qualified for different loans and grants, as they have in the city of Oakland. There's specific loans just for social equity applicants, so that they can get funding and everything like that. So yeah, just a quick video. If you haven't yet, please like, share, comment, subscribe. All that helps out with the YouTube algorithm. And also, please buy my ebook. That's the first thing I will recommend. Before all this, the first thing I recommend, if you know nothing about starting a cannabis business, or you just want more information, my ebook is literally a compilation of all the information needed. Yes, you may be able to find bits and pieces on the internet, but most of it you will not be able to find. It's a fair price for the amount of work and time that I put into it. So, and it will catch you up to speed, because if you just ask me a question like, oh, how do I get started? That would take me hours to explain to you what you need to do and everything that you need to do. Why would I do that when you can literally just get the book that I made for that specific purpose? And once you read that, after a couple hours, you read it, and you also get invited into my private Telegram chat where you'll be able to ask questions to me, my business partners, my credit specialist who specializes in business funding, so he can get you lines of credit, things of that sort, and teach you different techniques on how to get funding and get started. So yeah, that's another benefit of buying my ebook. But why would I do that when I already made the materials that you need in my ebook? Yes, it's $99, but it's gonna save you a bunch of hours, bunch of time and hours of research and things of that sort, because I already give it all to you.